Welcome back to the 3 battle series. We're once again covering the Battle of the Wind Gua, and with the Battle of the Legs this time. So we went over last time about the battle of the hands. We did adding to motions in order to get them to overcommit. The way that this works with the feet is where we get what we call sweeping techniques. There are many different types of sweeping techniques. So if you just take a stance real quick and you just put the hands out of the way just so we don't have to worry about them, right? There's a lot of different ways that you can go about sweeping. There's from the sides like this. There's from the sides like this, right? And of course you can, with any kind of foot, go for that. Or you can hook behind and pull back with you, right? Or you can just kick it, right? I guess that can count as a sweep too. Anything that kind of takes them off their feet. And this kind of sweeping is a little bit less percussive. It's a little bit more taking with the wind again, right? So I'm not necessarily attacking the leg, right, if he has his stance up. I'm not attacking the leg like I'm trying to do damage, but rather I'm trying to sweep it off its foot. I could do damage with it, but more is important is I want to take this with as little effort as possible. So with little effort, I want to take more into account the positioning and where they can best resist, right? So in a stance like this, right, his stance is very good on this kind of front, so I can come from the sides, right, and then I pull him this way. So now if I face him here, right, his stance is a little bit more steady this direction. Okay, so maybe I can come in and then hook him this way. Can kind of hook back with the heel. This is done in movements like this, which normally you think, this could be groin kick, or some people might just think it's bull crap, but it could be used as a type of sweep. Now that we know types of sweeps, it's important to know the best timing for sweeps and what's particular about the wind gua and what we're talking about. So if he takes a cat stance, for example, a cat stance has all the weight on the back leg and no weight in the front leg. If I try to sweep the front leg, it ain't gonna do nothing to him, right? It's a false leg for a reason. It's meant as a sweep bait, because from there, right, I can sweep from here. I put myself into a bad position. He can kick me with that in return. Now, if he takes like a forward stance, like a bow stance, right, I can sweep the leg, but it's going to take a lot of effort to do so because more of his weight is there. So the key is in the transitions from steps. So if he's in the cat stance and he's going into the bow step, it's at this point that you want to sweep them. That's the best time. It doesn't mean that, if you're in a situation where you can sweep their foot that's weighted, and you shouldn't go for it. It's just that this is the prime opportunity to do so. Much in the same way that we talked about adding force to make them overcommit, right? If he's taking a step forward, he intends to go here, right? But now if he goes back and he goes there, right? It's as this is happening that I take him and commit him. No, I'm not gonna let you step there, but I'll let you step there, which he didn't intend to do, so he'll lose his balance. And it's in that transition, right, where you're putting the weight, that's the moment when you're the most vulnerable, is in that transition. Because you haven't committed the weight yet, so there's not enough weight to be, properly heavy and weighted and rooted. But it's not so light that, he can instantly reverse this, right? Because if he's here, right, he can't really throw the kick without falling over himself. So, but here he can. Here he can do so, but as he's transitioning, he can no longer do so. So that's the key with the wind gua in terms of the battle of the legs, is with these sweeping techniques, and particularly the favorable time to sweep is when they're in transition. See you in the next video.